Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to say our prayer. And our prayer in this case is with the family of Senzo Meyiwa and our people and those who are feeling sick. I hope they feel better now. I also feel better. And we are rocking and rolling. But we wouldn't be doing justice if we didn't mention that this video that you see here is coming courtesy of Stilahale Serongwa. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stilahale. Thank you very much. You don't know how many times I've been practicing your name to call it right, but I probably did butcher it a bit. No, it's a culture. It's a culture of this channel. Yeah, I butchered his names. Yeah,
but you're learning.
I'm learning along the way. But thank you very much for your generous gift. It enables us to continue to pay electricity from this studio. Yeah. So we are doing exactly that, and thank you. We appreciate you with everything that we have.
Yes,
by your contribution, we are going to do more, and we're going to make sure that it is coming from the heart, and that is we're going to deliver proper content. Emily, greetings.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again as we deliberate on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Now, a lot also happened today with the honorable investigator. I almost called her a private but an investigator who doesn't know nothing with relation to the case, more especially with the people from the house and evidence that came forth from 2014. She doesn't know. She will not like to comment. I would not like to comment on that, my lord. I cannot comment on that. No, she cannot comment on any of that. The only thing she can comment on is what Brigadier Gninda briefed her on and sent her to do, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of the story.
It's a summary.
And again, let us remind the night gang and again, intently we are really humble by what you guys did.
Yes.
In terms of likes,
pressing that like button.
Likes, you've been doing it. I think it's almost 50-50 now. Morning gang, I see some morning gang that is coming back to be, they call themselves ghost riders. Those people who are watching as we speak and are live with us. Yes, thank you very much. That means letela tuba, such that people from the morning now, they want to become part of your team. You must really be doing something really good and keep on keeping those and reminding others also, because it is easy to forget when you come in that you have to like the video. And it makes sense more so if you join. You find us 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You feel like, hey, you are already missing. You want to catch up. Yes. While you do that, please do the one-on-one rule, which is 1 like, 1 view. And you can always increase your views at your own spare time. It's not a problem. But at this point in time, 1 like, 1 view. We are happy with that.
And if you can, please watch the ads.
Yes, the ads. The ads, unfortunately, as much as I also don't like them when I'm watching videos. You know, someone just puts a 1 hour ad.
Yeah.
That is unreasonable. But if the ad is short, please make sure that you watch it. And you also, if you want to buy something, now we're advertising for them. You can use those ads. It's not us, it's them. It's the original ads. It's YouTube. So we are not in charge of these ads. But obviously, if there's something that you see, you're like, I want that thing. Obviously, that those ads are for that, to interact with them if you want to interact with them. And thank you again for being with us and choosing us out of everyone that is here.
Yes.
Emily, let's rock and roll.
All right, so Advocate Khumalo started the proceedings with clarifying the issue with the DNA results. He referred to the expert's report that said that Mapisa was excluded, not inconclusive, from the DNA that was tested from the scene. Right? Right.
Sink that one in.
Yes. So yesterday, Khumalo said that the results were negative, which is basically the meaning. But they want to turn it into it not meaning this, but it meaning that there could not be a determination that the DNA was a match. No, it was not. It was not a match. Stop forcing things. Sometimes they want to make it seem like people are stupid. Even the DNA, we played the footage yesterday, did we not?
We did.
He's still denying it. They're still
He's
denying
the one
it.
who came with that thing of inconclusive. And this judge is the one who came with inconclusive.
He is.
I think that needs to be told as it is.
And hammered.
He's the one who came with the question of
DNA
inconclusive.
expert never said that.
The DNA expert never said that. And even though he came with that thing, he was brutally debunked to say that this is not how we deal with evidence. You know, it is not something that we are making about thumb sucking. It's on record.
DNA, it's a match or it's not a match. There's no in
Simple
between.
as that.
A match or it doesn't match. Finish.
If it's inconclusive, then whatever you're using to test is not good.
Yes.
Or something is not.
Yes, and it being inconclusive means that the DNA expert did not do his work properly. It means he received a sample that was contaminated, which is not what he said. Hey, Ratha.
He even explained, Kosiam Ati, obvious others will match. You know,
yes.
other what contours will match.
Yes.
Because we are all
Sub-Saharan
African. Do you understand?
Yes.
Simple as
ancestral
that.
lineage.
Yes.
Is very
now
close.
That ancestral lineage is used as inconclusive. And the judge came with that question because we are Tandus and Zuklev. You know, he's the one who come with these things. I read. Yabolo, I read work. Today, Ubalo is standing on, and
he's using
even
it.
Today, he's still helping him. And you tell me.
He's using it, and then we'll leave it for argument.
What is there to leave for argument?
We'll leave it for
Since
argument.
when?
What is there to argue? The DNA is not a match. Leave it alone.
Since when now science is lying? According to this guy is the one who's a fan of science, not being not able to tell lies. All of a sudden now is saying science is lying. In a sense.
I've never been so embarrassed. International people, we apologize on the behalf.
This is not all. This is not how we think. This is not how we reason.
What we do in the country. No, I refuse. We do not do things like this. I apologize. This is very embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's nonsense, indeed, my lord. It is nonsense.
It's embarrassing.
Results are there. Even those. What's the point of those results if the conclusion was left for you to conclude? What's the point of those results? What's the point of in writing the conclusion?
How?
Because when you can make your own conclusion as a judge who doesn't have any qualification whatsoever of medicine or doctor of some sort.
Or even biology. Or,
yes.
You've never studied such.
Scientist.
You know the law. Stick to your law. And
Simple as that.
Receive the evidence as it comes. Don't try to change it just because you already have a judgment allegedly in your mind.
Icon. And then you tell me, out of watching all these things, you tell me that this judge, shame.
No, it's still inconclusive in his judgment. It's going to be there.
It's still being, what is it called? Subjective, objective? Objective.
He's supposed to be objective. And he's not supposed to be giving evidence. He's not.
Because his evidence is causing row now.
Yes.
He even forgot he's the one who came in. In fact, Khumalo was supposed to start by submitting, my lord,
Read him,
on that record,
read him the record.
you came with that question.
Point it out to him. If you had to read the entire page, the entire full page to demonstrate to him that the DNA expert never said that. In fact, he said no when you brought up inconclusive, but you still insisted on bringing it that it's inconclusive when he never said that.
Before we start, because in any case we're discussing this case, so that I don't disturb you a lot.
All right.
I have a problem with 2 dockets. I have a problem. Logically, if you apply that case of Rob versus Hepworth, this should not be happening.
No.
My submission is that these people, the defense, they should submit something of some sort to question that issue of 2 dockets. Because what this docket is actually doing is doing exactly what that case says it must not be done. They are in an state is in an advantage position. They decided which case to pursue, which docket to pursue. Because after seeing all those testimonies, they said, no, let's go with this one. And I do not see a state folding, even if they know that they might be wrong by having these 2 dockets on one case. I don't see them folding and saying that, no, actually, we don't feel that we took a right decision here. Then can we have 375? I don't see that happening. So they have an advantage of statements and everything. Now, those statements, they cannot be used. Even Afro men, as much as we blame him,
Yes.
Afro men applied law
He did.
by allowing those statements.
Yes, he's the one who
Because it's
actually-
evidence
Yes,
that
he's
has to
actually
do
one
with the
who
very
allowed
same case.
375 statements to be used in this case.
Here comes the judge who's gloating about Patoi doing the right thing. No logic, no law is being applied there. He is right. Because the judge says it is correct. We've gone past that time, Chief. The fact that we are discussing you here, we have gone past that time of judges being looked at as some sort of pastors who will always tell the truth. This is South Africa. Anyone can be bought. Anyone
Has a price.
has a price. So we are not going to fold and keep quiet and say, oh yeah, the judge is saying it's applying law. What law? What law says what Patoi did is correct? Because from our reading, what I got is that if there are 2 documents, they should be combined, squashed, and become one thing. Which law is saying that, okay, let us try this one, and then if we fail here, then we go to this one? Which law is that? Where we're dealing with one case.
And I'm sure you're seeing, even with the defense, that majority of their defense is coming from 375, not from 636. So if only it was 636 and 375 was not a part of this case, what would have happened?
No, this man is just lying to us. Now we must take it and eat it because he's old, he's 78. When you can tell people, you can tune them nonsense. And then, but now when they tune you nonsense, hey, I'm old. Ageism. This is supposed to be a professional space.
Yes.
Where age is not even looked at. The same submission that Malem was making when people were saying this person is old, this is one. You can't be fighting for someone's life and you see that the 78-year-old is tuning you nonsense every day. And then when you have to keep quiet just because you are young, You are fighting for someone's life.
Yes.
Young or not, we will respect you when we see you outside. But in court, if you do what you did,
and
where
why
you're
does
throwing
he
shades.
Want to have a, why does he want to have a, and suppress people by saying that he's 70? What?
No.
Why
Listen,
does he want to?
this man starts throwing shades.
He is.
Everyone calls. What did Nis say? Nis said. He called someone a name, and then this man comes and says,
so-called what?
Yes,
the
and then he said even he comes and add the so-called judges.
They call me a so-called judge.
Now
what was the reason to say that? I mean, what's the point? What was his point? Why are you defending a witness? That's not your job. Why are you getting in and defending a witness?
Now,
it's
when
confusing.
When they are throwing the same jab on him,
he's in his feelings.
He's in his feelings.
Please respect me.
Now we must nurse the feelings.
Respect me. I'm 70. I'm 78 or 70. What?
50 years in this bench. We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care. In fact, I would submit that 50 years you should continue learning.
Yes.
You shouldn't be a judge
and times
who's gonna just sit on the fact that when you are a judge because you have LLB and then you did few things. Continue, do your honors, do your masters. LLB obviously is honors. Do your masters, get a PhD. Part of the reasons for so that you are equipped to deal with problems that are arising at the current state affairs, not dealing with them with the old way.
And the type of crime that was happening in 1975 is not the same crime that's happening in 2024.
And the ruling
levels have upgraded. Criminals have become smarter. You understand? And even now we have a crisis where we find that the people that are supposed to be regarded as protectants of the citizens, somehow they are also implicated in dodgy activities. We see those news, the headlines all the time. Cops are involved in atrocious acts.
So how do you deal with that?
That was not happening in 1975.
Situations where police, it was happening.
But it was happening.
It was happening to a certain people.
Yes, to a certain race.
Now, people are doing it regardless of race or whatsoever. So, how do you deal with those situations? Because in the olden days, the system was protecting the police. Because the mandate was easy and straightforward.
Yes.
You see this, you see this, you see an enemy. And anyone who was a police at that time, obviously was also looking at people like that at the point of being in a privileged position.
Yes.
As Malcolm X would say, as in the house is better than, things is better than the one who's outside.
In the field.
In the field.
Yeah, so it was very, very strange.
So we're not going to keep quiet.
You want to hold people hostage because of your age, and now people must not express themselves, must not fight for their clients because you are 70.
When you shouted these people when their kids watches,
yes,
shouted them like they are kids,
like they are children.
They take it in the shin. They like, okay, I'm at work. You know, when you tell them sit down.
He told Gomezulu that. Sit down. What nonsense is that? You can't be speaking to another grown man like that.
But you know you want to be respected.
But he wants to be respected, which is strange. Very strange. I don't remember ever.
You can dish it, but you cannot take it. Look, now we're in this problem of DNA because of him.
He can't just shush. He can't just interfere when there's a need. Not when it's not even required of him to do that. Just interfere if there's a need for him to interfere. He can't do it.
And because of the system, because of respect that has been given to these shady laws, no one is talking. No one can talk. No one can dare talk.
Some people are crying and they're saying in the chat, people are cussing and cussing at him. We don't approve it. We don't say that it's correct. But naye respect goes both ways.
You
You
give
can't
and take.
disrespect people and then expect to be respected. How does that work? The moment you start dishing out disrespect to people, people are gonna disrespect you back. It's tunzi sako. Just it just becomes affected.
It just doesn't make sense how these things are working. He's fighting. He's in a fight. You are throwing punches. Next thing, a referee that was supposed to separate you is also throwing punches. Now
What do you do?
You throw punch to everyone. That's the only, you cannot separate.
He needs to.
It's too late.
It's too late.
If you ask me, this record
rewritten
is
record.
distorted in many ways because of the questions that he asked. Be it at the end of the cross-examination. Look today.
Yes.
Look,
he asked
today
another-
it was a point of defense. I'm telling you, since I've started this case, I have never seen this judge asking a question that favors the defense. I have seen this judge asking a question that favors the MPA side.
And you know what I see is like, for my understanding.
It's not his
clarity.
understanding.
It's not.
It's not his understanding.
It's
He's
not.
asking questions that are debunking everything, whatever that the defense has done.
Yes.
Normally, that's
Yes.
what.
He
When he sees
attacks
that
their
that person has been
cross-examinations.
cornered, that's when he's going to ask questions.
Or try to make them change what they had said previously. Change the record. He always
So
moves
this
towards
judge,
that.
you
Even
ask
with
yourself,
the inconclusive evidence that he is sticking to.
it was towards the end.
Yes, it happened after they done with the cross-examination.
After the presentation,
Yes.
cross-examination,
He
next
comes
thing he
in
comes with, tell
and
me,
labels the evidence
have you
inconclusive.
ever heard of something called inconclusive results? This man said that. And the guy was like, yes, my lord, I'm listening.
Bombastic
And he started
side-eye.
explaining. He started explaining. Today, it is what he was explaining.
I cannot
So
defend.
this judge is an expert more than the person who does this thing every day.
Yeah.
That bench has taught him how to be some sort of a biologist or something like that.
And he is ruling. And I know maybe he will disagree or he doesn't see it, but you're like ruling with an iron fist in that court.
As much as you are ruling, what is bad is when you also discount everything that has been said, and then you come back. You are still expected to go write a judgment, because every day when you feel like the defense has gained grounds, you take them back.
You debunk
So,
it.
in my humble opinion, I feel like this man, the judgment, he writes it every day by debunking these people.
He, after every day, goes and adds something. He goes and adds something. He goes and scratches out something to support that thing.
So, what's the point of going
I
to
can
court?
believe that.
We might as well just
I
stop
can believe that.
and let you
Maseke,
say, read everything, read
that you have
evidence,
written so far.
do whatever you want to do.
And I'm sure inconclusive DNA is there. That the witness
He's
did not
squeezing,
speak about
squeezing
or say.
inconclusive. And I said this thing, that inconclusive, you might look at it and say, but it's inconclusive. No. Inconclusive in now when you take it to this whatever law that they are practicing, it means that you cannot be excluded that you were there.
And you cannot be included either.
You cannot be included
Yeah,
either.
fana noma benga
Someone must make a
ntanga
judgment.
It is similar to nothing having been done.
Someone might make a judgment and say, since we cannot use this head to say you were not part of this head that it was submitted in court, that indeed it fell from the intruders.
And because
It is not. It's a common cause because they have been hammering on it.
And because they are saying that they did not do it, they pleaded not guilty. Kuzo edwa nentsaka spice and aromat kuzotiwa, they showed no remorse. And then they put a stamp on it like that to say that she didn't show. We've seen this movie before. It plays all the time.
They showed no remorse, yes. 240 years.
With inconclusive statements that he testified to that were not said by the person who did the testing. Besati Gigi. I don't know how many years, but yeah.
Yeah, but we have seen, I think I've watched a video where he was giving a judgment of 200 and something years.
240.
Yeah.
One man got 240 years. I have no idea what crime he did, but that was Judge Ratha Mkwatleng's verdict of that man's crimes.
Because he showed no remorse.
Showed no remorse. 240 years because he showed no remorse. Laba sazi ukuthi uzobanikeza how many we'll see when he's done with the case.
But all we know from my side, my view, I wonder they are going to get something.
Yeah.
Because you cannot win if you play against a person who's supposed to give you points every time you put a punch. You can't win.
Yes, you can't. No, you can't. So Balo explained that Mapisa could be read in 4 of the 16 regions. Yazi lentolena, guys, for people who may not understand, this is not how DNA works. A DNA strand must mean all 16 regions match. All 16, or at least 15,9.
Yeah,
15. Not 4.
Let me tell you what this ruling, if it is accepted as it is now, this kind of ruling in DNA, what it would entail in future. If it was to succeed, and it could be used in court of law, obvious.
Yeah, it's gonna mess up
if
everyone's
we talked about this sub-Sahara blood. Someone tells you this is your kid. They come and say, yeah, this is not your kid on the basis of 1, 2, 3. But yes, there were matches there and there because we are all from South Africa.
Strength, those regions.
Yes.
2 of them.
So now that kid can be your kid, Pela Masegunjal.
Koki maintenance.
Now we are going closer to that. The ruling, this ruling can entail such thing. If it was to be made.
He will be restructuring the entire law with this ruling if he succeeds with it. It will change things. So let's say at a crime scene, DNA is found, and then whoever is being suspected of that crime and that they were there, their DNA is tested, and 4 out of the 16 regions match, it means that they did it. It doesn't matter whether they should look for other suspects or not. It matches. Because in the judgment of Ratha Mkwatleng in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, this is what, and you'll hear the prosecutor use it.
That's why this law is so messed up. Can you imagine if you duplicate this judge? In the past, before the changes of 1994, the case laws that I use are coming from that. Can you imagine the judgments that were made in those case laws, and then all of a sudden, it is being used to take you down? So
it was rough.
That's why I'm saying this thing must reset. It can be. It must reset. Continue, Emil.
Well, the judge reminded Khumalo that he said that they were negative, but the correct terminology is excluded. Excluded from what? From where? From the DNA that was taken in the house.
Negative. Simple as that.
DNA has to be 99.9 in order for it to be a positive. If it's not that, it's a negative. It's simple as that. I don't understand what's so difficult about accepting this, judge. They all settled on that, and Advocate Mnisi started his cross-examination and picked up from the very same DNA results. Mogola said that the same can apply to accused number 3. He was excluded by the results, as Brigadier Gininda told her that it does not mean that they were not in the house. So Mnisi asked her that what Mr. Gininda told you is hogwash. It is nonsense. And I agree. It's hogwash ngampela. It is nonsense. What makes them want to argue with the whole expect, to flip upside down the evidence of an expect that they subpoenaed to come and testify just because it did not align with what they want? They now flip the testimony of an expect around to suit what they want. What makes them DNA experts? Do they work with DNA every day?
Let us not forget, this is the same judge. When Buthelezi flipped on the stand, he started seeing people who were threatening him.
Buthelezi, who was the one who is from Rustenburg, who attended to accused number 2 when he called and needed staff to bath.
Yes, he flipped on the stand. Couldn't watch his friend suffering because of what he said. He started telling the truth.
The truth.
And then the judge had to add the salt. Yeah, we saw you. I saw. People were doing science there. We saw. Same judge.
He could not accept that someone is telling the truth.
Anything that favors the state. I'm telling you, we can pull the history since this case started. If it favors the state, it favors the defense, that thing must somewhere, somehow be debunked.
Well, Baloyi said that Mr. Mnisi's words are unacceptable and saying the language that is used is inappropriate. What the witness says is in line with what the expert said. No, it is not. No, it is not. Accused number 3 was read in 7 of the 16 regions. It's still a negative. Advocate Baloyi, don't be acting dense. You've been a prosecutor for too long to be wanting to do this. It's actually embarrassing. Please stop. Make him stop.
Emil, I don't normally take calls. I'm going to take this call. Okay. Zanzi, hello. We're good, sir. How are you? We're good. Sorry?
Everything this judge is saying and doing is clear to everybody. You mean there is no way the defense can address this matter?
I think they should.
I don't get it. Because what are they going there for? Look in today, I don't know if we're talking about it's the same day that you're also quoting where he summarized the end at the end of the day. He dispelled everything the defense came up with. It was so clear to anybody who was interested. So how do you leave him like that? You mean he's got that kind of power and authority that he can behave like that and nobody says anything? I don't believe this.
It's appalling.
Come on, you guys. And you people keep saying allegedly. You know that what you're saying is right. You've got to form some form of force and make this man understand. You all know this man, there's something, money has exchanged hands here. There's some influence. It's so clear to anybody who's interested. So there has to be a way to address this. Honestly, we can sit and waste time over nonsense that's so obvious to everybody.
Yes.
He's putting words. Where was it? Who said it was inconclusive? Those were his words.
Yes. They were.
And now that's what he's taking. And this defense, why are they so timid, for God's sake? Why are they so timid? That man should be just taken head on. Huh? I'm so beat. I'm calling from Botswana, by the way, but I'm really upset with this. I don't think this is right, you know?
Yes.
It's not right. I can feel you're very upset.
Thank you.
We also are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Please, you have to enforce it. There's nothing like allegedly. These things are clear. They are there, and you can all see what's happening. And you don't. You put on the paper and you withdraw it. No, you've got to attack this person. He has to know that the wife knows what he's doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Right. Okay. May I continue? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I felt that anger. And they're saying, we keep saying, we don't have a choice but to say allegedly, because we are protecting the integrity of the channel.
For the mere fact that things like this are happening, very soon. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, sir?
We're good, sir. How are you?
Yeah, can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Guys, you're doing an absolutely amazing job out there. And, I've got an extremely serious cry. I don't know who's going to hear it. I don't know who's going to do anything about it. Surely, individually, I cannot do anything about it. There is no way we can continue taking the behavior of this judge. We have had an endless number of the so-called experts coming to that court, and simply because they are white and they only have matrics and they were taught in garages, that some of them, even their so-called certificates are not available anymore. The judge didn't ask them any questions that would suggest he wants to oppose the evidence that they will be bringing over. Yet when a proper expert that is black, particularly when it comes to this DNA issue, you remember back in the day, the video that you guys played yesterday, at the end, he was trying to redeem himself. This man, he thinks he's clever. At the end, he tried to redeem himself by asking him a so-called social question to say, why is it that all of us do not, or black people do not go do these science subjects? Because he had fumbled when he tried. Even Malloy tried to pick it back on the similarities of the DNA regions, that if then there is 4, that means there are some similarities. And he kept on, that guy, to say the answer is no. We need a minimum of 16 that they should be similar. It was a clear-cut concept. The other biggest problem that I see is that these judges are sitting up there and they have never done basic scientific subjects. And I'm sorry if I'm taking a shot at anyone. I'm not saying people that did scientific subjects at high school are more intelligent than others. They are just different interests. We're all equally intelligent. That's my belief. But you mean a judge that is going to sit there and believe that there is a bullet that hit the floor, hit the door, and then it landed just in between 2 glass jars, and it's found in the morning? When we speak of the energy of the bullet, there's what we refer, just from basic physical science, what we refer to as kinetic energy, that when you calculate it's half mv squared. Within the space of that room, it is impossible to dissipate such significant amount of the energy of the bullet released by the gunpowder such that it can land on the cupboard and be found between 2 glass jars. Common sense when doing physical science, you will know that with immediate effect. Because it's released at muzzle velocity and its weight is very small. Muzzle velocity, we're talking about 500 to 600 meters per second. But he's not going to comprehend that. So these judges telling us all the time that they're calling experts, that is going to feed them information they don't understand. The DNA itself is a proof enough We're tired of these old laws and these old people. He must go die, this guy, somewhere. It's nonsensical. We're being ridiculed by the entire world. If you go look at judges that are in America, what they study, it's the same situation with Mogola when he was compared with her counterparts in America. You look at the qualifications. Who was the Minister of Defense, that guy in America. And you look at Mgola, which is a joke. And we're allowing this nonsense to continuously happen like this. Judge Masipa did the same mistake in the case of Oscar Pistorius. You go on and on. And I wish you guys could continue and analyze such matters, make us aware. We are aware, but we're not awake. We're not acting, particularly myself. I will include myself, that I'm not. This is nonsensical. This person was playing soccer. He scored one goal the entire career of his soccer career. And then he comes and he thinks he's going to be doing law. Not even a well-rated university for that matter. This is nonsensical. They need to get out, go home, and just die. In fact, he must not even be accused. He needs to be impeached. And impeached with jail sentence, so that we can stop this nonsense. How can you say you taking this decision because you're a judge? Where's your reasoning? And the case law is, I want to use a word to describe it. This case law needs to be scrapped. It's something that he knows from 1802, because he's that old anyway. He's worked for 100 years. He knows everything apparently. With kids that looks like Messi Zulu sitting born. Thank you very much, Paula.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Emily. Sorry about that. I just had to make you feel what other people are feeling.
People are angry today.
Let's now continue without any disturbance. I will switch off.
You guys are angry. Oh my God.
All is alleged. And all is said. That is said by our subscribers, but not us.
Yeah. So continuing with the cross-examination of Mogola by Advocate Mnisi. Now, what the witness says is in line with what the expert said. Accused number 3 read in 7 of the 16 regions what Baloyi was saying, trying to justify this inconclusive theory from the judge. The judge said that after raising that Mnisi was wrong, and the judge said that Mnisi should proceed for the sake of progress. Mnisi was willing to argue this because he knew that it's hogwash and nonsense. It is nonsense.
He's not given time.
Yes.
You are told now, continue.
Proceed for the sake of progress.
After they argue, they submit their points, and then they say, continue.
Well, Mnisi said that you are not here to help the state win or lose a case. You are here to tell the truth. And Mogola now started getting angry. Eloketi, I'm not here to be lectured about that. I know exactly why I'm here. A back and forth ensued between Mogola and Mnisi, and it was just awkward for her to overreact when she's being reminded of the responsibilities that she has as a member of the South African police, testifying in a court of law that you are not here to be on the side of the state. It's like it's something she was not prepared to grasp and understand. No. She didn't get it. She was so defensive. And she continued to say that I know exactly why I'm here. Advocate Baloyi asked Mr. Mnisi to continue with his cross-examination. And that exchange between Mnisi and Mogola went on. The judge said that he will disallow that question. Why? Mnisi asked. Why are you disallowing the question? And the judge said, because I am the judge. Go on with your cross-examination. What is that? What nonsense is this? Because you're the judge. Haibo Gashlin.
It's nice being a judge.
And I remember Advocate Mshololo used to include this as part of her cross-examination. And Judge Ratha bullied her as well into stopping to include that part. Every time Mshololo in her cross-examination, she would remind the police officers of what their duty is while they were on that stand. But then for some reason, she had to stop doing it. I remember it was a problem when this judge presided over this case. And then Mshololo stopped doing it. Now Mnisi did it today because you can see that this witness is not helping. This witness, should we call her a hostile witness?
She's in a defense mode.
Yes. But instead of being reminded of her duty and responsibility, no, the judge stops it from happening. Why? We still don't have an answer for that. Mnisi said, as you testify in the main trial, what did you say you found on accused number 1? And Mogola said 2 cell phones, magazine, cleaning rod, and ammunition. And Mnisi said that in the trial within a trial, you omitted that you had 2 cell phones in that part of exhibits. And Mogola said yes. And they asked her, why did you omit it? And she said she has no reason. Is this a credible witness? No.
In my own opinion.
You have no reason. You just omit stuff. And you get offensive when you are reminded of your duty and responsibility as you are on that box testifying. You get upset. Well, then Mnisi said Mr. Buthelezi also confirmed on his testimony on what you found. He did not mention cell phones as well. Buthelezi is the other police officer that was there while she was making arrests of accused number 1. So Mogola for the other case? The other one that was Baloi and the other guy. They had arrested accused number 1 prior, and then somehow in that short space of time it landed at cold case, and Mogola got it, and she, and now it has a conviction. You heard Baloi mentioning it in the re-examination that it. Yay, South Africa, guys! Yo. Well, then Mogola said, with due respect, can you ask Constable Buthelezi? And Mnisi said, you have been dishonest when you testified in this main trial that you also found cell phones. 2 cell phones were found, Mogola said. And Mnisi asked, what is even worse is you said Buthelezi found the phones in this main trial. And Mogola said, that's correct. He seized the phones. Mnisi asked her, you are manufacturing a version to suit a narrative of what you want the court to hear. And Mogola said that that is not a narrative. There's a SAP 13 where the items were documented. Nimbonile nge re-examination kulethwa amaphepha manje ayaphuma amaphepha. I have my own theory about lamaphepha lawa phumile, but I will get there when I get there. Mnisi then said, you said, what was your experience in the SAPS when you joined this investigation team? And Mogola said about 15 years, and in investigation division 6 to 8 years. So Mnisi asked her, so you started to investigate the case without seeing the family of the deceased? And Mogola said, yes, I was never given an instruction from Brigadier Gininda to go there.
She was investigating on the basis of instruction.
So
she was confined in a sense. It's like you cannot go beyond. You go do what you need to do and come back.
Mnisi then asked her, did you ever take time to go to talk to people who were inside the house? And Mogola said, I never received an instruction from Brigadier Gininda to go and interview the people that were in the house. There's only one person I went to obtain a statement from, and that was according to the instruction that I was given to me by Brigadier Gininda. And then Mnisi asked him, who was that person? And Mogola said it was Mthokozisi Twala. Okay, we already have a picture of Mthokozisi Mtwala and Brigadier Gininda sometime in 2018 or 2019 when Mthokozisi Mtwala apparently was taken for a pointing out. And he said that he pointed out that somebody, not really point out, but then the brigadier, is it the brigadier or a police officer that was there in the pointing out, said that Mthogo had pointed out at this particular person. And then he said that he later changed. He told Brigadier Gininda that that person is not, he did not point at that person. You remember that part of evidence?
Yeah, I do.
So, yeah, she says that she went to interview Mthokozisi Twala or Mogola. It seems like Mthokozisi Twala was the only witness from the house that Mogola was given access
What
to.
I would like to know is when was the statement of Mthokozisi Twala taken? Because I just want to
Around 2018, 2019.
bring it to your attention. Was it before? In my opinion, default thought Mthokozisi Twala was going to testify for him, for the defense, or after?
When they came to court, they said that that statement was done in 2018, 2019. That's what they said. But right now, after what I saw in Advocate Baloy's re-examination, I'm doubting every single piece of evidence that comes after cross-examination.
Yeah.
I have serious doubts.
Yeah.
Mnisi then said, as one of the investigators, you embarked on a process of investigation in this case without having a background from the people that were in the house as to what exactly could have happened at the time, which is when this incident took place. And Mogola said, I still say I was acting upon instruction of Brigadier Gininda, and as he is the lead investigating officer, he's the one who was driving the investigation. As a senior member, as a lead investigating officer, I never received instructions to do so from the lead investigator of this case, Brigadier Bongani Gininda. And Mogola confirmed that as one of the investigators, she embarked on a process without even interviewing the people in the house. Asked what was the basis of her information on the case and where did she get the information on what could have happened in the house, Mogola said that she was obviously briefed by Brigadier Gininda. So her foundation...
She was briefed. She was not briefed. When she went to arrest Lokuzan, accused number one,
yes,
she was not briefed. She was briefed a bit later. She admitted that she was briefed. She didn't know anything about the case.
She admitted later that Brigadier Ginin told her that the person she's going to arrest might be linked to the Senzo Meyiwa case. That's what she said. It's not me. She admitted it under cross-examination. So she's briefed, she's not briefed, she briefed, not briefed, not briefed. She works upon being briefed. Yeah, now she's not a curious investigator who is inspired by the work that they do of seeking justice and just looking for information. She's not that type of investigator. She's something else. I don't understand. So literally her foundation of information for this case in particular, we can assume it's Brigadier Gininda. And she also said, and also, my lord, there are other statements that I've also read. Well, from yesterday's cross-examination, we now know that that's not exactly true, because she was asked if she read the contents of the docket of 636 and all the other, and she said she's not familiar with. She wasn't familiar with a lot of statements that were being put forth, including the ones from 636. So for her to now today change her story and say that she read other statements, and then further Mnisi proved that she may not have read anything. Because when she was asked what statements are those that she said that she read, she could not remember, but there are statements which she read. How can you read a statement and not know that this statement is from so and so?
Even when you are reminded. You want to know the joke? The joke is that so there is a charge there that talks about Kelly as being assaulted, and there's against the 5 accused. Yet she's the mastermind.
Yeah, she's the mastermind.
What kind of nonsense is that, Mar? So you send us, you brief us, we do what you briefed us to do.
And then we hit you on top of that.
And then we have to, if you briefed us that we have to hit you, let's say this theory is correct of the mastermind.
Okay.
And then we hit you because maybe you told us to do so that we don't look obvious that you send us, maybe, just saying. And then we are charged. And we are not charged. And we are charged because of what you send us for. And we are charged for what we did against you.
Yes, the mastermind. Now to think about it, it's actually funny. So who opened this charge? The NPA just opens charges. They don't care what Kelly has to say. They don't care that Kelly wants this charge open or not. The mastermind, they don't care whether this charge, she says it is there or not. And what I remember also from Mapopola's testimony.
She's not called.
Mapopola's testimony, she said that as she was peeping, she only saw the first intruder hit her mother with an elbow. So where Kelly gets in now, for me, it's new information so far. Because Miss Mapopola only mentioned the mother. Do you guys remember that? That the phone was taken from her mother. And she was struck with an elbow by the first intruder.
Yes, because she was refusing the phone.
No mention with Kelly. So now that the NPA has included a charge to say that Kelly was also done the similar thing, although it's not described how. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's very interesting. This case, it's something else. And Mnisi offered to give her an opportunity to refresh her mind on what statements are those that she was talking about, that she had looked at the Mogola, and she declined the offer and the opportunity. She decided not to take it.
She never read anything. In
she
my
decided
opinion,
not to take that
she
wonderful
never read
opportunity
anything.
to refresh.
She never read anything, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yes.
You know, at some point I thought maybe she's acting dumb because maybe she doesn't want too much heat. But then now I'm thinking to myself, there's nothing you read. I'm not getting the vibe that she's acting
She's
dumb.
surprised of the surprise that might have come out of those statements.
And even how she answers questions, it's like she doesn't even think or process the question before she gives an answer. Sometimes I would catch her saying yes, and then after a while, especially with the re-examination with Advocate Balo, it's almost like she had rehearsed her answers, and now she's remembering.
Even with that rehearsing, allegedly,
it still went left.
You still needed to be reminded. Hey,
Exactly.
get it.
And then now she would be like, her answers were very confusing because she would be like, yes, when she was asking, do you remember certain? Yes, I remember it. And then she's like, but no, I didn't see it. I didn't have it. I'm like, but you said yes with so much confidence at the beginning. Why does it give like you need triggers? You're being triggered to remember. Nisi then asked her, then what statement are those? And Mogola said that she doesn't know because there are several statements that she has read. Nisi said that it is common cause. It's an open secret that this case is investigated by two teams. The team that Mogola is a part of and the other team that comprises of Ms. Buthelezi and Mr. Makubo. And he asked, I take it you know that... and Mogola said that she is aware, or she was aware of the other docket. And Mnisi asked her, did you at any point meet the other team investigating this matter just to discuss the nitty-gritties of this case, on how their investigation was, how far they were with the investigation, and as in the meeting of the minds? Did you ever do that? And Mogola said that there was one instance whereby Brigadier Gininda instructed her to take the dockets and meet Colonel Buthelezi and make copies of all the dockets. That was the only incident where she met with her. Doesn't this sound like something a PA does?
It does. I mean, honestly, it does sound like what the PA does. Even though we're not saying she's a PA, she's a police, we know.
Bamthumela kwenza ama-copy docket that she claims to have not read or sometimes have read. We don't know which is which. Nisi then asked her, so what you are telling this court is that there was never a stage where the two teams sat and discussed the facts of the case as members of the same employer, that is the South African Police Services, SAPS. And then Mogola said, me as Sergeant Mogola, I've never sat with them and discussed the case with them. I'm not sure about others. Again, she's an investigator in a team of investigators.
What can you say, Mon, if the judge also refers to the case 375, the so-called case of, who's this, the Shabane? Hey, this bad.
Well, Mnisi said, if that happened, would you not have known about it? And Mogola said no. Mnisi then said, simply because I am not the leading investigator. Mnisi told her that, you know what, with your responses, when you find that the going gets tough, then you start to say, it's because I'm not the lead investigator. Here's what I'm going to do. Mnisi asked Mogola about the state count number 3 against all the accused on account of robbery with aggravating circumstances. And this is the summary on which they are basing the assertion. They are saying that, and I quote, in upon or about the 26th of October 2014 at Vosloorus in the district of Boksburg, the accused unlawfully and intentionally assaulted Ms. Kelly Khumalo, Gladness Khumalo, and did with force and violence take a Samsung S4 cellular phone, the property or in the lawful possession of Ms. Kelly Khumalo or Gladness Khumalo.
This is going to be interesting.
Rob them.
This is going to be interesting. That provided God saves Ngomezo. And we hope. When Kelly comes, here's the phone that was taken from you. Let's leave other theories. If you say yes, it was taken, then there was Ngabis.
Yes.
And also,
phone.
then that would mean you sent them. Because according to Stein, you talked to them. According to the records of Stein. Right? So I would like to hear what would happen. Like, in fact, I wish I could fast forward everything. We finish this thing. This 100 and something. Just finish it. Finish it. And then we start asking this question. We start asking these questions. I want to see how Kelly is going to answer now that things have seemingly, in my own opinion, changed. Now she becomes a mastermind.
Yes.
Which I still say, I don't think the sister knew she was going to be called a mastermind.
You don't think so?
I'm doubting.
Her Betty, some of her actions were very questionable. I remember we did a video and we were kind of wondering, does she understand where this is?
I still don't get what is the feeling now that the sister is called a mastermind.
I don't know. But apparently they are fine now. They've made peace. I don't know. Like,
no. I'm talking about the case. Does she still feel the same?
I don't know. And honestly, I don't care.
Does she still feel the same? Like, oh yeah, you guys will be surprised. Yes, we are surprised that your sister is a mastermind, as Mogola put it in court.
Yes, she is the alleged mastermind. Then Mnisi said, and because you are not the lead investigator, certain things you do not know in this case. This is what happens. Ms. Zandi Khumalo came and told this court that when the two intruders came into the house, the one who allegedly had a firearm, Makhumalo, realizing that there were intruders in the house, grabbed a phone that was on the charger and took it upon herself. But unfortunately, the person who had a firearm realized that she was in possession of the phone and hit her with an elbow and took the phone from her. Mogola said that she understood after protesting if Mnisi was asking her a question or not. Mnisi then said, subsequent to what Zandi told this court, judges are sometimes called so-called judges, throwing shade at the judge for earlier having said that Nami am a so-called judge. Well, then the judge said, Mr. Mnisi, just have a bit of respect, please. I deserve to be respected. In fact, he said he's 78 years old. We reduced his
Yeah, he
years
said,
by
no,
78.
50 is practice.
And 50 years in the profession. He said, I'm sure he deserves to be respected. He deserves to be respected. Deserves. He deserves it. Has he earned it? Has he earned the respect ever since this trial began with how he treats grown men and grown women in that courtroom? Has he earned the respect? Because respect is earned, you know. The people who deserve respect are the people who earned the respect. Well, Mnisi then said, yes, Mr. Musia came. The person who took the photos of the scene came and gave his own testimony. The defense requested his working copy. In one of the photos, it transpired that there was a phone that appeared on the photos that was lying at the headrest of one of the sofas in the house. So in view of what is contained in count number 3 and subsequent to the discovery of the cell phone that was lying on the headrest of a sofa, which was also a Samsung S4, do you have any comment on that? And Mogola said that she doesn't have any comment. And Mnisi said that the significance of what I'm telling you is in view of the latest discovery of a cell phone that was depicted, which is also a Samsung S4 that was depicted in Mr. Musia's working document, that is indicative of the fact that there was no cell phone that was stolen in the house, because when he came to take the photos, the cell phone was lying there. Now, Baloyi stood to say that that is not correct. One of the witnesses, Tumelo Madlala, identified that phone as his. And I'm like, when did he do this? When did he
in the
do
record?
this?
Where?
On the record. Where? And he went to the proceedings of the 7th of August 2023, wherein Mr. Madlala testified that he had a cell phone.
Yes, he testified that he had a cell phone.
He's now
the one
saying
that was off.
It was a Samsung S3. I don't remember that.
But the assertion that is put is not of S3, is what, S4?
Yes. So they decided
where
to
is
make
it saying
that phone.
This is my phone? This is my phone. That one in the picture is my phone. When Khumalo asked, did he say that?
No. There's nowhere in the record where he says that. But now, Mr. Baloyi is saying that when Tumelo testified in 2023, August the 7th, he said that he had at the time a Samsung S3 that was white in color.
No one disputed that.
And he was in possession of that phone that day.
No one disputed that. He took it to the bedroom. Hid it under whatever in the bedroom.
The blankets.
Blankets. As he was holding the door.
I'm having a tough time believing this. I actually went to Google, you guys. Yes, I did. I Googled. And I'm like, how much was this phone around that time? And Google said to me it was 7,000 to 8,000 rands around that time. So Valo is trying to convince us that this person who had to accept Senzo's money to come and see him in Johannesburg, who couldn't even pay for his own trip to come and see his friend, Around the time, taxis could have been something more or less 300 rands.
Hey, actually
200 rand. He didn't have that. But he had this phone at the time that was regarded as the most expensive, most high. This phone beyiphathwa abantu that have serious money.
He could have had it. Maybe Senzo gave it to him.
Bought it for him or gave it to him. But still, it was a very fresh module. It's similar to having an iPhone 14 today.
We're not going to argue about that. It's fine. My point is that it doesn't matter. What matters is, did he own the one that was on the picture? Yes or no?
I'm sorry. Shayed, I don't believe that he owned that phone. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, did he own it as his?
As his or
on the record? That
no,
this
not on the
is
record,
my phone.
No.
It's that's all that matters. Because someone is making it as if this man said, yeah, that was my phone. There was no such.
The phone that's depicted in Musia's picture is my phone.
Yes, there was no such.
There's no such. For people who may be but but the record that Baloyi read is saying no. The record way is saying that phone.
He's testifying about his phone
with Musia that Musia took that is on the sofa is mine. The way Tumelo also was so attached to his phone during that incident, I don't believe he would leave his phone lying on the sofa. That's another thing. I don't believe he would have left his phone just lying on the sofa. I don't care how traumatized he says he was. He had his phone with him wherever he went. In fact, he stayed a couple more 4 days or so with Bokeli waiting for his phone. That was his excuse as to why he couldn't go and inform the family of his friend of what had happened. He said he was waiting for his phone. That's how attached he was to his phone at that time. And you are trying to tell us that as there was movement around the house, the police were investigating everything. Tumelo left his phone by the head rest of a couch. No, strengthen this. This I don't believe. I don't. So Baloyi said that his recollection is that the phone that was discovered, it was an S4. It was actually an S3 that belonged to Tumelo Madlala. Now Mnisi reminded them that Tumelo said that his phone was in one of the blankets or something as he was hiding, or he had went to another room during the incident.
In fact, he went with it to hospital. I remember he said he was looking for
the only thing he didn't have was airtime on his phone, which I doubt was a Samsung S3. But anyway,
it doesn't matter, man. I'm not going to judge the character. He was working.
It doesn't matter.
He was working, right? He said he was working.
Was he?
Yeah.
And then Mnisi said that the count 3 against the accused is flawed and it has got no basis. That is what he's putting to the investigating officer. And Baloyi said that he objects. The question is incorrect. He said that Mnisi should read the evidence of Tumelo Madlala in its entirety. He would not have persisted with that question. He said we submit that it should not be allowed. The judge asked if the assertion is incorrect, and he said that he will not arise that. And when he writes his judgment, he shall have obviously read all the evidence when he will make a finding. Mogola said that she knows that if there were no evidence, then they would not have been in that trial when she was asked to comment about this Samsung S3.
Hello, why are we here? Anything is possible in South Africa. Look, we're here.
And literally here she's throwing the NPA under the bus, in my opinion.
Yeah. She's shifting everything to Baloyi.
She's shifting it to the NPA. So Mnisi then asked, do you know how the people in the house described the first intruder? And Mogola said no. Mnisi then asked, and the second intruder? Mogola said yes. I remember that the statement I read said that there was a short dreadlock suspect and a tall one. When asked where she got that from, she said that there are certain statements that she read and got a briefing from Brigadier Gininda. she remembers that there was a shot. That's all she remembers. Asked which witness are those, she said that she could not say in detail which witness it was, but that she knows that there was a short suspect and one with dreadlocks and a tall suspect. So Mnisi then asked, Zandi Khumalo said the first intruder, he was shot with dreadlocks up to his neck. He was wearing a hat, protruding eyes, had facial contours as if his bones were protruding.
Wait.
And he also had a shiny skin.
Wait, did you hear? Guys, I'm sorry. My focus was on this guy, on this judge. Did you hear how he tried to debunk the revolver statements? Did you pick that one up?
I picked it up.
When he said, like anyone, I don't know what Nis was asking about. Like anyone can say ivolovolo.
Yes.
This guy was sneaky, man. Was sneaky.
And that is going to the record as he's saying it. Next thing it will be in his judgment.
That they didn't say it's a revolver. They just use the name Volovolo just because we grew up using that. So 9mm is accepted on that basis. That's why this thing is going.
I heard him and I was like, yo.
And I'm pissed because he's using our language to sometimes to twist it.
Yes.
We know what Ivolovolo is. And snake elbizon with spam, which is general.
Generally for a gun.
So,
is specific.
so these people even described it. That they said it had a wheel.
Yes.
It looked like they had a wheel.
It had a wheel.
Now all of a sudden he's generalizing it and Ivolovolo. This guy icon. Just like the video, guys. Just like the video.
Well, Mnisi then said Mtogozi Sitwala described the first intruder in the following day. He was light, had visible cheekbones with dreadlocks up to his neck. He was wearing a hat and also a jersey or jacket. And Mogola said that she could not remember what statement it was. And Mnisi asked her, under cross-examination, Mr. Mtogozi Sitwala went on to amplify the description that he gave in his statement. And this is what he said under cross-examination. He said that the first intruder was not only, or was not really tall, but was shorter. He was not dark, not light. He used the word cappuccino. He had high cheekbones, which were longish. He also had dreadlocks up to his neck. That is what he told this court as a full description of the first assailant. Then Mr. Madlala went to describe the first assailant as the person who had dreadlocks and big eyes. Now, because in your investigation you are saying that there are certain things that you know about this case and there are certain things that you do not know about this case, I can't fault you on that. This is a description that the witness gave of the person who they allege was wielding a firearm when he got into the house. Now, after the short adjournment, Mnisi continued to say, I had just given you a description in the form of a background of the first intruder as alluded to by the witnesses in the house. This is to your benefit because you don't know what is what happened in the case docket. Mogola became very defensive all of a sudden, saying that Mnisi is incorrect to say that she doesn't know. But she said she doesn't know. She said that she did say that there were several statements. There she could have, well, she failed to mention those statements. But she said that there were several statements which she read. So she has a background of the case. Now she has a background of the case. A background
Now
she
that
failed to testify on under cross-examination.
This cross-examination to the side where she wants to go. When it suits her. The cell phone was in the bag when it suited her.
When it suits her.
They were scrolling on the cell phone.
She doesn't remember. She can't recall. But now Now she had a background that she failed to testify on under cross-examination. This is sad. This is very sad. This is embarrassing. Then Mnisi said there is a statement that was introduced into evidence when Mr. Mgomezulu had a session with you, a statement that was deposed by Mr. Longotwala. In that statement, he referred to the description of the firearm that was allegedly touted and wielded by the first perpetrator as a .38 revolver special. Longotwala is one of the state witnesses.
Yeah, someone is saying today, Zegile Kokot physically. So when Muhale was talking, she would look at the judge. Every time he starts beating his desk, she would then move things to Ginindi. That's why we cannot see them.
So that's why we kept hearing that disturbing sound. Because I was wondering to myself, why is this judge banging this table like this? The microphone can pick you up. We can hear it. Guys. Hi, Shems, Yakale, South Africa. So, Mnisi then said, do you have knowledge to how many statements Mr. Twala submitted in this case? Mogola said, I can't say how many for sure, but it's more than one. Mnisi then said in one of the statements, Mnisi actually made a request for the state to subpoena Mr. Longotwala if they will not be calling him as one of the witnesses. Now, if he is called as a defense witness, he said, this is what he will come and say. In the description of the first intruder, the person who allegedly had the firearm when they got into the house, just as Kelly was about to tell a joke, and I quote coming from this statement of Long, how did he know Kelly was about to tell a joke? I don't know. Namangas. He said, I noticed the two black guys, one tall, light in complexion, the other one with dreadlocks was short and dark in complexion. He was wearing a khaki jacket. The first guy went towards Kelly with the shorter one following him. The one with the dreadlocks breached the firearm and demanded the cell phones and money in isiZulu. Baloyi said that they have already objected on the unrestricted use of a statement by a witness, a statement which has not been proven. What does it mean that the statement has not been proven? Does he mean that before
to call a witness and all that, and that's how you prove a statement?
So now what's going to happen, because this witness is under the state?
Who?
Longwe.
You know what is fun?
What's going to happen? Is he going to come another statement with amendments?
I think so. You know what is funny? I think so. Yeah, I think so. You know what is funny? Is that all these crucial people in this 636, they are not there. They've been dropped.
Yes.
They've been dropped.
Yes. They are not there.
Even Longwe, I don't think he's gonna come. In all honesty, I don't think he's gonna come. I have a special theory of how he's not gonna come. I have a very special theory of how he's not gonna come. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to come. Yeah, you know, things might be said. He's not well and all that, but I don't think he's gonna come.
Well, he said that it's unfair for a witness to be cross-examined on things that they did not testify about, like she's not the investigator of this case. All right. Baloyi then was making an example about a robot being read, and Mnisi was not having it. Okay, he said his example is irrelevant. Yeah, Mnisi was on fire today.
No, guys. Yeah, we must. Yeah, the man was fighting.
He was fighting today.
The man was fighting.
He was fighting. So he was still continued with his robot example and said that the type of cross-examination that the investigator of case 636 is not admissible. He said that there is literature about the art of cross-examination. This part, I was like, there's no way you're going to teach Mnisi how to cross-examine.
They've been doing that. They've been even Mogola.
And he said this is not the type of cross-examination that those authors would. Then the judge said that he knew the book. The judge overruled Baloyi and said that Mnisi can continue. And accused number 3 said that he was freezing. He delivered that message via a paper to Advocate Mnisi, and the judge ordered that the aircon be turned off. So that was quite interesting. Then Mnisi said that's what Longwe said they looked like. The first intruder had a firearm, dark and short, and the second was tall and light in complexion. This is the document that was used by the state to frog march these accused before court. The state also approached a facial analyst, Ms. Steenkamp, who assisted the state in compilation of the identikits, and she interviewed the people in the house. This is also information that came from the state and decided to hound the accused before this court. So Mnisi went to Ms. Steenkamp's affidavit and also asked that she should come and testify. Mnisi then said the first person Steenkamp interviewed in her affidavit says it was Kelly Khumalo. She told me that she and the deceased walked into a convenience store. Upon return, Kelly, the deceased family members and friends had a smoke outside the house. Ms. Khumalo called them inside to say goodbye. They sat down and started chatting again. Kelly was inside the kitchen when she saw 2 unknown African males entering the house. Suspect A appeared very aggressive and demanded cell phones and money. The suspect approached Kelly and the deceased jumped up towards suspect A. A scuffle between suspect A and the deceased started. The next moment, Kelly heard 2 gunshots and gave the following description of suspect A. He was an African male in mid-20s, dark brown, shiny in complexion, dreadlock hairstyle, no scars, no facial, a golden inset in his upper teeth. The language that he spoke was local Zulu, a brown jacket with a woolen collar. He was not clean in appearance. Suspect A entered the house first, armed with an old black revolver. Old black revolver.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly could not describe the second suspect. So, do you remember the testimony of Tumelo Madlala while he was changing the gun with a wheel? He was alluding to the fact that Ms. Steenkamp made the revolver up.
Mm-hmm.
Did she now? Did she make it up after you are reading
I guess
what
he
Kelly
made it
was
up
saying?
for all of them, eh?
After compilation, she was satisfied with the ID kit. She compiled the face with the headgear. So Mnisi corrected Jonas when he interpreted an old black gun instead of an old black revolver. So Mnisi pointed it to Mogola that there is a constant theme from the witnesses from the house. The intruder with the firearm was dark in complexion as described by Zandim, Togozisi, Tumelo and Kelly.
Yeah.
They also said that the dreads came to his neck area. Longwe Twala also described the first intruder as a dark person as well. They were also describing the firearm as a revolver. Kelly said it's an old black revolver, while Longwe said it was a .38 special revolver. Mnisi said that Tumelo Madlala described the gun as having a wheel, and the intruder, the state says it's accused number 3, and he also had a hat, and when they ran away with it, he fell, and it fell. The hat fell, and it was recovered and taken for DNA.
Hence now, you see that evidence. That's why now we are busy with inconclusive results.
Oh,
Because
now
now there is a pointing of that head. It's not even an issue of it fell from one of the accused.
Yes.
So in a sense, it excludes all of them. Then why are they there?
They are saying that it's inconclusive as
Now,
well. They try to frame
all
it
of
like
a
that.
Sunday, it's inconclusive. Inconclusive, my lord. 4 out of 5, my
It
lord.
wasn't a match. Yegan. Later, you got his DNA samples by Mr. Tsie, and a comparison was made, and the results say that the DNA found in the hat left by the suspect could not be matched with the DNA from accused number 3. So Mogola said that what she knows is that the hat had mixed DNA.
Yeah, but isn't that? It's growing. It's growing. I'm telling you, it's gaining momentum.
mixed DNA. Nisi then said that's not what the results say. The judge and Baloyi agreed with Mogola to say that the DNA was mixed. Here, when I heard her say mixed DNA, I was like, she missed the memo. She wasn't briefed properly because she was not supposed to say that. And then I saw the judge and Baloyi agreeing with her to say, hey, what was happening here? Are they covering her? Were they trying to?
No. The story of mixed DNA started that day.
Sure. Then Mnisi read the results where they said that the DNA of accused number 3 is excluded from the one in the hat. The results do not speak of a mixture. Now this means that it is negative, but not in Ratha's court. In Ratha's court, negative means inconclusive. Mogola then said she understood. Then Mnisi said, in view of such an explicit description of the gun wielding the intruder, what is your comment? And Mogola said that she doesn't have any comment. And Mnisi said the state's story is on the day of the incident at 11:52 in the morning, around 4 to 5 hours before the incident happened. He put up a picture of accused number 3 and standing. I think he was squatting.
Squatting, yes.
And then
there's
someone behind him. So this is how he looked like. He showed the court. A picture showing accused number 3 with dreads was beamed in court. And Mogola said that she can see it. And Nisi said again, is it correct in terms of this picture? Accused number 3 has braided dreads that go up to his shoulders. And Mogola said, as per the photo, yes. Mnisi said they are long. Is that not so? And Mogola said that's correct. And Mnisi said, is this not a direct contrast to what the state witnesses described as the first intruder having dreadlocks up to their neck?
My lord, I think the question is very unfair. I think my learned colleague should take this into.
It had a vibrato. It had a vibrato.
I don't think it should be asked to this witness. Oh yes.
Yeah, sure, we are literally fighting for our lives every day watching this.
It's not for faint-hearted, this one.
Yo, guys.
Let's like the video. Please like the video. Please subscribe.
Hi.
Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Please join the membership if you can. For those who cannot, please like the video. Please communicate with us. We're here. And someone was asking me that is not seeing his or her comment. You only see your comment if you are with us live. The ones that you comment after, they don't stick as these ones are sticking. So those
There's
ones
also
are not
the comment section.
They are just going to be on the comment section. That is for the discussion. Let us like the video. Indeed, my lord, I think that the question is unfair to this witness because this witness is here to testify about the investigation. I don't understand where my learned colleague is going with this.
He actually said that it can be debated through argument. Say it in the vibrato.
As it can be debated through argument.
Through argument, yes. Mnisi said that he has never heard that kind of objection in his entire... that it can be debated in the argument. That was the objection.
As I told you. But I told you, these people, they object to anything. That's what the defense was not doing at some point. They said, object, say something. There's nothing he said there. Nothing at all. But he objected and the judge listened. Then the judge added as usual. The judge would finish you. He would finish it for you. You know that love when they say we can finish each other's.
As to what other lawyers think. I'm very curious to what other lawyers think about Advocate Baloyi's objections. I'm very curious. So he said he does not know whether this question is fair or unfair, whether he's badgering the witness or whether he's putting something that is wrong to the witness or what. Nisi said that I want a comment. She can simply say, I don't want to comment. And Baloi said that Nisi is asking Mogola for an opinion. The judge said that those descriptions should be put to the people who were inside the house. And Mogola was not inside the house. You know what is funny about all of this? Is that when the state does their examination, for instance, and cross-examination, they do not confine whoever they are asking questions.
Yes, they don't. They have a broader scope. They are allowed. It's okay.
So the defense is confined to the witnesses in the house, even when they are dealing with an investigator, a whole investigator who should have knowledge about the case. Walina. Then she said that the witness at the time of the incident was having coffee in Bloemfontein. I don't know what he was talking about, the judge.
She was trying to make an example that he could have been in Bloemfontein making coffee and then mistook it serious on purpose. He said, is that so, my lord? In a sense, mocking the judge, saying, you're testifying.
Then Nisi said accused number 3 will tell this court that he never had short dreadlocks as described by the witnesses, as they described the first intruder as having a firearm.
At that time.
Yes. And Mogola said an investigation she was involved in indicates that the 5 people shot the deceased. And Nisi said he will also tell the court that he was never a dark person in his life. He has always been light-skinned. He has always been mistaken for a colored. He was not a chameleon. He was always like this. And Mogola said the investigation pointed to him as a suspect. Nisi then said he never went to the Khumalos or never met with one of the 2 assailants with a revolver as mentioned by Kelly and Longwe, amongst others, Mr. Madlala. And Mogola said investigations indicate he was involved in the murder of the deceased. Nisi then said he will also tell the court he was never involved in the killing of Meyiwa, and Mogola said, I still respond the same. Investigations have pointed him. Nisi then said that he doesn't know.
The same investigations who don't know what? Through instruction.
Yes, the debrief. That he doesn't know how the deceased was killed. He has no explanation to give as he was not there. And Mogola said investigations revealed that he was involved in the murder of the deceased. Nisi then said, you keep mentioning that according to the investigation, it has been demonstrated that he was there. What is the nature of that investigation? Mogola said that I must point out everything to you, asking a question. Ratha, the banging. I picked it up. The banging of the table. At this moment, it became very loud. I couldn't ignore. But then Nisi said, yes, Mogola said, as I have said, that there are statements that I have read, and also I got the debriefing from Brigadier Kininda. There was a downloading that was done that she did not want to testify on, remember? There were photos that were recovered that matched the description. The statements of the witnesses that were in the house.
Yes.
A firearm was recovered. Even the DNA, even though it does not say conclusively, but as I have explained in this court, that it was explained to me what is the meaning of what was out in the affidavit, to say that there was not enough to determine in the DNA that will draw a conclusion to say that it's 100% correct to say that he was in the house. She was stuttering a lot, eh? She was stuttering a lot. She was stuttering. At this moment, I was like, I know. I come back. I come back. And every time they keep saying what the DNA expert said, they keep flipping it around. They keep giving him something that he did not say. He did not say that. There's no match. Okay, there's no match. It's negative. Let it go. Then Nisi then said the state argued that the accused acted in furtherance of common purpose. Do you know how the plan was hatched and who was behind it? And Mogola said that she doesn't know that there is a master. All she knows is that there is a mastermind behind. So in the post-lunch sitting, she was asked if she went to verify the authenticity of what Brigadier Kininda told her from the people in the house. And Mogola said that it was only one person that she was instructed to go take a statement from. Nisi asked about the mastermind, and Mogola was referring to. And he said that the mastermind is the shark, and those that were sitting in that court or sent to do the job were soldiers or sardines, meaning small fish. And that the dangerous person is the shark. Now, Nisi asked, is the mastermind here? And Mogola said, no, my lord. And Nisi asked, it was said that accused number 1 and 2 and others did this and that. So why is that person, the mastermind, not here? And Mogola said Brigadier Kininda did mention that he applied for a warrant of arrest, but it was not issued. She said that she's not at liberty to say why it was not issued, and that's all that she knows. He said that he will apply for the warrant. And Mnisi asked, what did this mastermind do? And Baloy objected and said that this issue should not be canvassed in as much detail. This trial is about current accused that are before this court. Cross-examination should be confined to the accused that are before the court. Nisi said that it is this witness that came with the concept of a mastermind. She did.
She did.
And Baloy claimed that an answer had been given and that issue should be put to bed. Did Nisi say that a collateral issue means that it's a effed up rebundum? Did I hear correctly? Did I hear that correctly?
How did you did?
He said an effed up rebundum. And I was like, oh, Nisi, oh.
Last time we had a effed up situation, it didn't end well.
It didn't end well.
Please like the video, guys. Please like the video. Let us push for this 1,000 before we even go to our respective bets. Let us push for this 1,000 likes.
He said that is a fact that is relevant to the facts in issue. And Mogola said what I was briefed on is the accused is linked with the mastermind, but I'm not in the position to say how they are linked to the mastermind. So when asked about where that mastermind is, Mogola said that she has no idea. They should rather ask Brigadier Kininda. She does not know how the accused are linked to the mastermind and the role they played. Mogola said she only knows of one mastermind when asked how many masterminds were there. And Mnisi asked, you mentioned that there was one mastermind. Where does he or she stay? And Mogola said, I only know them by the name Nontla Kelly Khumalo. The judge had a problem with the accused raising their hands all of a sudden. He was complaining that he has never been in such a court where the accused kept, and he does give them permission. All of a sudden he's complaining.
He's compelled to give them permission to do that. We were quiet when Sibanda was asking questions there.
Ooh.
Let these people vent and say what they need to say.
And Sibanda brought it up in his cross-examination that they keep raising their hands as well. They keep raising their hands.
And he was
Why
saying
don't
that they did not. Yes. So they need to address every detail, even if it's not important. They need to consult with them.
Accused number 3 said that he had never met Kelly Khumalo in his life. There has never been any communication between Kelly Khumalo and him. There was not any communication between him, Kelly Khumalo, in the presence of the other accused. There was never any communication between him and Kelly Khumalo with the 5 accused about the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. And Mogola said that she has no details of how each one is linked to the mastermind. So Mnisi said, have you ever met her in the course of investigation or contacted her, and Mogola said no. So in the re-examination by Advocate Baloyi, now Mogola had stopped stuttering. She was speaking a little bit properly. And the cell phone on Musia's album, the affidavit of Sergeant Mushona said that he put in incorrect evidence. And now they are putting on the record the correct information with the judge's assistance, of course. So it's another amended statement that was introduced by Mushona, one of the investigating officers who had taken the phones in 2014 from the people in the house to go and have them downloaded.
And they put it in the wrong address or what?
And now they are saying that Tumelo had a S3 Samsung, and that one on the picture on the couch that was sitting there alone, it was Tumelo's phone. Yes. Baloyi read that he got a Samsung S3, and he says Advocate Nisi correctly referred to it as a Samsung S4. With regards to I remember when Khumalo had asked about that phone he saw in the picture, Khumalo said it is an S4, and he did challenge me, or I felt challenged to go and look for whether there was a white version of the Samsung S4, and yes, it was there, it existed. The white version of the S4. It wasn't just the S3 that came in white. The S4 also came in white and black. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So with regards to the buccal swab of accused number 2, Mogola said she's now aware of who took the swab. Mnisi objected, calling it new evidence, and the judge argued on behalf of Baloyi to say that it is not new evidence because she said she was not aware and has now become aware. So she's become aware after cross-examination. And the judge is fighting for it. This is so weird. Baloyi said that it's fine. The state will be calling the person. Then Mogola said that it's Sergeant Mashele. Ramosipili said that the buccal swab of accused number 2 was on the eve of his first court appearance, the 27th of October 2020. Now Mogola said that she made inquiries to Mogani, and all of a sudden a slip popped up. She now has a slip, and she said that slip was mistakenly filed. It was Beefilion Street, Pretoria North Police Station.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Mogola whispered when Jonas was interpreting, and he was saying that he doesn't see the police station, and she was like, we don't know. And then I'm like, wait a damn minute. Ntanzi was arrested at 10 o'clock at night at Rustenburg.
Yes.
When were those DNA swabs done?
Exactly. What time were they done?
Because they arrived after midnight in Gauteng.
Yes, I got it also. When was this DNA done? At 22, Kopokeng. That's the time of arrest, right?
Yes. So Njani, when were those DNA swabs done exactly? At Pretoria North. Beefilion.
Anything that could go wrong went wrong.
The chain of custody that was asked by Khumalo regarding accused number 4 was also addressed. Mogola said that she got a receipt for accused number 3 and accused number 4. Now she has the receipt. Honestly, Mina, I'm going to put it out there. In my opinion, these are compiled recently. In my opinion.
Did you say it? You don't need to say it. Don't say it like that, man. Maybe they were there.
I doubt it.
No, obviously we doubt it. Come on, Emily. You allegedly, always alleged.
The way they are done in such a quick and a hurry, you even forgot that.
All is alleged. Let's continue.
Allegedly. Advocate Mnisi put it to her that 2 cell phones that were found on accused number 1 on the 30th of May 2020 during his arrest is untrue, and Mogola now brought in an SAP 13 from Tembisa South and another one from Brixton. where she says she received the exhibits, and guess what? These two exhibits that came in, they filled in the gaps of the transformation as the cell phones were moving. Because remember how the exhibit bags were not matching?
Mm-hmm.
The one that she handed over to the lab and the one that the lab received, they were not matching. So now in between there, they put in exchange bags, and they are accusing a host of changing the exhibit bag after he opened it. Because still for me, it doesn't make sense. But that's what's happening in that court. Regarding the different forensic bag numbers that Khumalo picked up, Mogola said that this is probably the evidence bag in which the cell phone was put after it was downloaded. So Baloyi asked her if it matched a number reflecting on paragraph 15.22. Mogola said that it is correct, and it also says 2 phones received from downloader. So they put in the downloader.
Where is the phone?
They put in the downloader in between it going to host. Now it went through a downloader. So that they get an exhibit bag that matches the one that host received.
And there's no affidavit or whatsoever.
No affidavit, nothing. Or the downloader. Where is the downloader?
Hi, what of it? Hi. We're watching a movie like live.
Yo, this is a mess. This is a mess. Then Mogola mentioned that Tembisa case is finalized. Of course, she had to put it in there, right? Mogola said that she could not establish when Marco...
To solidify their case.
Remember we talked about...
Because those cases, after finishing these ones, if they win this one, I don't know how. If they do, they need to go and appeal that nonsense.
Yeah.
In Tembisa.
They have to. That one is also hogwash, in my opinion.
That thing was hogwash for me.
You know, when I did the research for it, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I couldn't believe the details of that case. I couldn't believe it.
Rebellion Seekers life.
But then I was like, maybe. After finding out that Mogola is the one, go and relook. Go revisit that case and appeal, please.
Exactly.
Then Mogola said that she could not establish when Marco and Makimbi were arrested. Baloyi, as justification for Mogola not speaking to the deceased family in her investigation, he asked her if the family were present at the incident or the scene. And Mogola said no. Mogola said that she doesn't know what other investigators went to the family, or whether they went or not. She said that she has no reason to cook up evidence because Mgomezulu had put it to her that the evidence was cooked up. Musia then said they only found blood on the deceased, blood of the deceased in that scene of the incident. And Mogola said that there was no other blood that was found because now...
Yes, there was no other blood that was found because there was cleaning. And there's no affidavit
with a bucket
on
of
636
water, allegedly,
that covers that part, you know? Allegedly.
So Mogola
it's
said
it's even by Jesus' grace that you found
some blood,
some drops of Senzo.
Yes.
Because the cleaning was proper.
It was done. They needed that glow spray actually to find what was going on with the traces of blood, but they didn't use it. So Mogola said that she does not know of Longwe Twala shooting himself on the foot, although Baloyi said that Longwe was in hospital and was treated for the foot according to what Mgomezulu's version had put. But Mgomezulu did not say that. I remember very well. Did he speak anything about Longwe being in hospital and being treated for a foot injury?
Doctor.
He said a doctor, not the hospital.
Yes.
So what is he talking about? Regarding Sfiso's statement, Mogola said that she knows of Dr. Ivan Khoza's statement. Now she knows of the statement that Dr. Ivan Khoza made. Yesterday she did not know. Now she knows.
I wish we have those powers, one day.
So,
if you call my name, the world just turns around. But let's continue.
So basically here, Mogola was literally being made to... This re-examination was actually Baloyi's objections.
About other stuff.
The objections that he was...
But the judge did not say, hey, or confine yourself to the testimony. No. Well,
with regards to the warning statements, the one from Tuli said the 1st of July 2020. Mapisa said the 6th of July 2020. Mncube said the 30th of June 2020. And Ntanzi said the 26th of July 2020, and Muzi said the 23rd of July 2020. So Mogola said that it was the NPA's decision to enroll the case. So the judge asked if it is not their duty to investigate all angles. Police never charge anybody, he said. The DPP is the one who charges. He threw shade at the defense, accusing them of reading Mogola a charge sheet. He said that the law says that no policeman draws the charge sheet. So he's basically was, in my opinion, exonerating Mogola from questioning or questions relating to the charges. So for 375, no persons have been charged. He said, this is the judge speaking. It has no charge sheet.
I'm surprised that he's willing to even go as further as to comment about 375 and its status. And on the other side, he claims that it should not been given a chance there in his court.
Yes, he was trying to go there.
Yeah, it is funny. It is very funny.
He was literally trying to go there, that it will not have merit for him. He was Then he reminded Mnisi of Rob versus Hepworth and had a problem with Mnisi saying that Baloyi was introducing new evidence, because there's a time that Mnisi objected when the statement of the police officer who said to have seen that the Samsung S3 belongs to Tumelo. And he was like, this is new evidence. The judge had a problem with that. So Mngomezulu sought clarity because the police are the ones who go with the recommended charges to the DPP.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say.
Then they make a decision. The DPP's job is to make a decision. And maybe add charges that they think should go there.
Pretender as if they compile this docket. And then they say, here's the docket. Go read it. You read it. Okay, so and so did this, so and so.
And then you come up
and
as
with
the charges as a
with,
DPP.
No.
Why are you lying to the
DPP
people?
is there to tick. Okay, you said malicious damage. Where is the evidence supporting that?
Yes.
Let's look at it.
That's the DPP's job.
Okay, it's watertight. It's fine. Yeah, you are right. Malicious damage. This assault. Okay, where's the evidence supporting that? Here's a statement by so and so saying he was assaulted. Okay, yeah, tick. That's what they do.
They do not go to the person who is being accused and say, I'm charging you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's why the police are even confused. They will say, we'll charge you.
Yeah.
Because they come up with charges and then they get approved.
Yes.
That's all they go for DPP for.
So now he's trying to confuse the masses, Ratha. Confuse the masses. Create confusion. For what? Then Ratha was upset. He actually told Mngomezulu to sit down and not argue with him. He says that the NDPP can even charge the president for Palapala. Leave the NDPP out of
it. Khona we-judge uyabona.
Leave him.
Yabona izinto zizokuhambela kahle mangashiya nje le ndaba ephalaphala ngaphandle. Akutshela. Cha yabona le ayiyeke le we don't want to discuss anything. Awona usuqala ukwenza ama example anjalo. Phumphele nje kwi-politics. Phuma nje phela. Leave it.
No, leave it.
Leave it.
Well, the judge said that there has been also disturbing message from Advocate Mgomezulu because before lunch, he actually wanted to speak to them outside of the court, all the counsel, including the judge. So he said that he received a disturbing message from Advocate Mgomezulu that two people came to his home with suspicions that they wanted to harm or kill him. He says these people are unknown to him. And Mr. Mgomezulu suspects that they were out to injure him or harm him. Because this is what happens in South Africa, the judge said.
Yeah.
The judge says that Mgomezulu is also entitled to police protection. He said that he should lay a charge with the police.
Hey, who says that, man? When you talked about the police. All
You
us
should lay a charge with the police. That's the best he could do.
Is that issue of Bontans? They were supposed to report the police to the police.
Oh my God. He should lay a charge with the police. That's the best.
Hey, this is not a laughing matter.
He should have just left it alone.
But it's a good thing that Mgomezulu came out of it. I in fact, categorically, I would like to say I believe him.
I also believe him.
I know that other people are saying
he's lying or whatever.
No, I believe
him.
I believe him.
I believe him.
Because
I don't think he would lie about something so serious.
In my own opinion, I think the problems, Zatifo, they started when he started name dropping.
Yes.
That's my own opinion.
And Mgomezulu now has just done a similar thing.
And the case has come, like a warning, my own opinion, allegedly. And then, now...
I remember we had a caller who had said that they had had encounters with Advocate Defo. Do you remember that caller? And they were saying that Advocate Defo was looking over his shoulder.
Most of the time. Yeah.
So Mgomezulu, I believe him.
Yeah, I do. And I saw, I think, a comment of Chichi is almost saying something to that effect, that we are all not safe. Yeah. I think I saw it on SABC. Yeah. So it's very sad that we are in this state of not being able to do what we studied for freely. It's very sad. It is sad because if anything was to happen, then it would translate then to say that it's even pointless to follow this case, because the theory that was put, then if anything happens, it proves that it's true. It vindicates even Tifo to say that they did. Then they are really untouchable people that could be behind this, allegedly. We're not going to talk much about it, but yeah, it's a sad thing.
I think we should open the lines.
So open the lines, guys. Mind your language. That's a warning in advance. I know the Mayemo Fatsi first, and then let's talk about the case. Avoid names. Hey. Zanzelo.
Hello.
I say, how are you?
I'm all right, Sinjani. Anonymous.
Sikhona mfowethu, sikhona.
Ngikhona nami ngikhuluma noNhlakanipho la from Swaziland.
Yes.
Yeah, so okay, for me, well, there was this podcast I was listening to the other day, and they brought on Attorney Tobani, and he mentioned something to the effect of, So this case will adversely tilt the legal practice landscape in South Africa, in the sense of now the accused will be the one who carries the burden of proof. So he has to exonerate himself by bringing evidence, rather than the NPA being able advocate by law, bringing that evidence in court.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is how bad. Judge uyahlala nje lapho ugade ukuthi abontanzi while bale bokhosha imampuru in prison, they should be investigating themselves so that they can exonerate themselves from these charges. Yes, and okay. Secondly, I mean, it's just a replication. This case has already made a ruling. Yeah. So for me, I'd say the lawyers should focus on putting everything on record. And I love the stance that they are taking this case, especially Gomez. Because this case will get to the SCA. And when it gets to the SCA, there will no longer be no evidence allowed. So they are doing probably the best thing they've done ever since this case began, by stating and bringing in this docket, this 375, and creating more grounds for appeal. Yeah, and I feel like that is something they learned from that lawyer who is representing, I think it's Kwabeni on AKA's case.
Yeah.
Yes, and lastly, for me, I'd snag at the defense and say they made an error by not subpoenaing Dominic Njiako. Yeah, because had they brought him in, I feel like it would have laid more basis that he had no legal representation. Well, that was it from me tonight, guys. Good night, and we are very grateful for the awesome job that you are doing. Once this broadcast ends.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, speaking of the lawyers in the
Zanzi, hello.
Hello.
Zanzi, hello. Hi.
Unjani bhuti?
Siyaphila njani?
Ngiyaphila mfethu. Ngifona ngiphezulu kaTanzi Sibusiso.
Yeah.
Umuntu kaTuka.
Yeah.
Cha bafethu ngihlezi ngilalela lapha nendaba eqala kaMenzo kaSenzo. Okwenzeke namhlanje impela enkantolo kuyathusa. Ngoba okungithuse kakhulu ilento ye-DNA. Yokuthi i-DNA kanti ama results enkantolo bawaphika kanjani akhona. Ebhaliwe ukuthi lawa abasobo i-DNA yabo iyabathile.
Yeah.
Kodwa manje ujaji nomhola but mixed DNA akaze ke sizwe into enjalo kuthiwa khona into ekuthiwa mixed DNA. Yazi noma ikhona kodwa angisi expect nami ngongaka kodwa angaze ngizwe kuthiwa khona into ekuthiwa mixed DNA. South Africa nje i-DNA yazi ukuthi njengoba wayichaza u-expect ukuthi ama-margins fanele ebe u-16. Maye u-16 ama-margins fanele ube u-16 out of 16. Then izokhipha i-result yokuthi-ke excluded noma u-99.9%.
Yeah.
Yokuthi i-positive lapho.
Yeah.
Uma kuthiwa excluded so u-negative. Uma uthi excluded leyo DNA isuke i-negative.
Yeah.
Aza nje ukuthi negative kulokho okusuke kade kubukwa khona.
Yeah.
So into engithusile ke ukuthi ke bethi akuchazi ukuthi abasolwa akaze befike emzini wakuma laphana uexpect waveza ukuthi bayakha labo ukuthi uma margin zabo ayawenza out of 16 it was 4 owatholakala out of 16 lokho kuchaza ukuthi ke labantu abahlangana nalento le ngoba fanele kube 16 out of 16 bese kuthiwa ke lo muntu ke uyathinteka kulento yakhe lento eqhathaniswa nje so mina nje ngokwami ngake ngayenza i-paternity test ngazi ukuthi kuyehluka i-paternity test kuyehluka nalokho okwenziwe ngontando but ngokwazi kwami mina nje ama result ami ayezebhala ukuthi bazame ukwenza endaweni ezahlukene eziwu2 bangakuthola ukuthi ngihlobene kanjani nalowo muntu engangenza i-paternity test naye kwaba u0.0 ukuthi I'm excluded kuleyo paternity test engangenza so kuyangixaka ke lokho okushiwo enkantolo kuthiwa khona into ekuthiwa mixed DNA noma angaze ngizwe ukuthi 50% ukuthi 50% babetholakala or 50% but ngazi ukuthi mina njengoba singabantu singamazulu sinawo ama-genes afana ukuthi umZulu nawo umZulu umuntu omnyama nami ngumuntu omnyama vele bakwenziwa i-DNA khona ama-genes ovela ukuthi singabantu asenze i-DNA kumuntu oyisilwane nomuntu asenze i-DNA kwisilwane nomuntu fanele masenza uma kunjalo vele kuma ama-genes khona azovela yikho kuthiwa fanele ibe u-16 out of 16 then bese beyasho ukuthi i-DNA yakho 99.9%.
Yeah.
Kube positive kuleyo DNA but ngoba kusuke kutestwa umuntu kunalawo ama-genes afanayo ukuthi singabantu kuzoba khona izinto ezincane mangitesta mina ishi zirelate kule eyami nalo ngitestwa nayo ngoba singabantu sobabili. But kodwa ngoba fanele kube 16 if ungafiki 16 we are not related.
Yeah.
Asihlobene. Yeah. Asihlobene no. But lokho kwenzeke enkantolo kuyangithusa ngempela and ujaji hayi umuntu engathi lo muntu owazi konke umuntu ongafuni ukulalela enye into eshiwo umunye umuntu okushiwo uyikona right.
Yeah.
Ngidinwe kabi nje ngilalele unqumalo eyiveza lento yedini eyiveza futhi ukuthi ujaji ube wrong wakubeka kahle unqumalo okuveza ukuthi ube wrong but mayisembuza ukuthi there's any problem sokuthi unqumalo ayayikho sel ngathini ukuthi unqumalo yini ngamtshela ukuthi cha jaji ukhulume wrong wena ngokuthi uthi inclusive ama result they are inclusive awasho ukuthi negative.
Yeah.
Laphana nje kube ukuphambana kwabo kube ukuthi terms abasebenzisa ama-terms abasebenzisile unqumalo ukuthi u-negative u-exclusive vele i-term yaka-medical exclusive but ngokwe-terms nesiyikhulumayo thina abantu u-negative loyo u-negative loyo uma u-exclusive ukhisiwe kuleyo nto leyo u-negative yes mase siya kwi-term yaka-medical kuzothiwa exclusive.
Yeah. No, mfowethu siyabonga.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ujaji wethu ziningi izinto atshengisa ngazo ukuthi ukuliphi iside. Ya nami ngithi angisikele ijikayo nje ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga.
Konke umsebenzi wenzayo mfowethu.
Siyabonga.
Thank you. So the caller is talking about the
Zanzi,
DNA.
hello.
The DNA strand at the match.
Hello,
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good and you?
We're good. We're good.
Long time.
Long time.
Indeed.
Yes, but I've been following you guys.
Yes.
Yes, but today it's naming again.
Yeah.
Ngikubeka umbono wa.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Re tsene mo issue ya Mokhalabe judge who a presider Odimo unfair trial.
Mm.
And irrelevant. Mokhalabe o tlile the aim. And the aim here has got nothing to lose in this matter.
Mm.
Now, I want anything yellow gore Zulu, the part of the defense, Bagai submitter, Mokhalabe.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Rivaka a train yellow or maybe Regara bus yellow Rea Olego Molo from Wasimolo Sanjere.
Mm.
Labagagili, Zulu, via Northwest, Judge where Cape Town.
Mm.
Auna Lagagwan. No matter Ogatli side effects, yellow or Yasare.
Mm.
Because Judge are not really to allow Cape Town.
Mm.
There's no other way this judge can be convinced in this matter.
Mm.
So the advice is one, guys. I might sound maybe I might sound a weak person, but to be honest, one never have at least application or recall this man.
Mm.
There's no other way because our Moyiwa. And remember, this case, Igaya appeal court.
Mm.
We must forget all the 375 is dead.
Mm. Mm.
So because the judge Jaguar Supreme Court of Appeal.
Mm.
Jo wali boncha issue ya ore. Batho ba khumanehile go ba ina le molato ke ba hweditswe. So a ona ka tsilelo re ka chacha boba. Then these people are abana molato le bo bona, then case is closed. So state se savile chelete. Batho remember more bolela ka remember like Bonganentas. How much can he sue a state if he can be released?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Or not be found not found guilty? How much?
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So now we are in a problem because of the state is trying to save their funds, and also there's people that have been protected here. So my appeal, guys, totally. You see, they've been trying, they've been doing all those things, and to be honest, I don't know anything link out the 5 accused. There's nothing. None. There's none. So why are we still here? We are here because this man, the presiding officer, who was presiding this case with intention of his mandate. We don't know where did he get the mandate, but obvious he's got mandate. Now, Irisha Guamra regard democracy or regard apartheid. Because if it's democracy, everything must be fair.
Yes.
But this judge who presided an unfair trial. So, aunaga mukolo banna ba meroko bona o ga tswa wile wa bona hala. So o robolela nnete go re bo Mogomezulu le this the part of defense aba dule fast man. What is the application? My side with, but it is going to help the 5 accused and the Meyiwa family to get justice. Otherwise, we are not going to get. They are not going to get a justice. And 5 accused, can take 5 years or another 7 years or appeal or never successful. ba le gore ba spendile the rest of their life in prison ba sena ntwe ba dirilego. So eba ka tlisa application ya go recall this person, ya go recuse this judge, I think ba ka ba le good grounds or this person must be removed. Then the 29 is next month. We're going to have a new leadership. That one I quite guarantee, because people of South Africa are fed up of this status quo. So now I think that one is going to help, because those one who will be hired, who Batu will be chased, because how Meroko high Batu now allegedly. So everything has been said, yes, alleged, but my fact is these people must come with the application to recuse this what do you call authorities. Madala. This Madala must just go home and sit home and smoke PB or but to I don't know, maybe something who does allegedly. So I've been following you guys. You are doing a brilliant job. Keep doing this job. Real Ratha as a South African. This is the media stream all over our bias over the opinion of the people or Banche, my good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Emil, let me hold the cause. Interpret that part.
You
wanted to interpret.
He said a lot, but
not this part.
The judge should be.
This part it's all about. Is saying the judge must be recused. They must apply for the judge's recusal because it's biased.
Yes.
And that saves the case, also 375, and it saves the family also in Bontans.
Yes.
Because
and
if it goes to appeal, then case 375 is dead.
It's dead.
It's all gone.
Because the implicated people, there would be no point for them to be charged twice.
Yeah, so I see someone is saying, the previous caller, did you catch anything? Maybe, or you just lost it?
Were they not speaking in English?
No, the other one, Zulu. Was it Zulu?
Oh, it's been a while. The other one was the one I wanted to translate. Yo.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
He was talking about
the DNA strands,
the
mention
strands.
of the DNA strands and how it works, and that he had done a paternity test and it came back saying 0.00.
Yes.
And there's no way you can say that a portion of the DNA is a match, therefore there is a link. You can't do that, especially considering the fact that we're also of tribes. You'll find that in the Zulu tribe, some strands obviously are going to be similar.
Yes.
Sub-Saharan Africa, we have, some strands are going to be the same. But that portion that is small, that is the same, cannot mean that the entire DNA is a match and it's a complete match is 99.9. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So that's literally what he was saying in a summary.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read this. Mr. Anonymous, I wonder if Kelly sees that they are trialing her in her absence. This court is very sneaky. Mr. Anonymous and Emily, do you know that for the DNA, we sometimes even send 2 strands of hair to the laboratory. I have never heard of insufficient DNA, and the SA justice system is captured. This is someone now. Just going to go through a bit of WhatsApp messages. I just wonder what is Justice Mlambo saying about this bully judge. This is a disgrace. 1920 has appointed himself as a DNA expert now. And that is someone also saying that. Mr. Anonymous and Emily, I think I'm trying to, let me take this call. Zanzelo.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Anonymous, how are you doing?
We're good, sir.
Yeah, this is Jaffet. You're speaking to Jaffet here in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been on, but today I decided let me call because I got very much disturbed with the proceeding this morning. I mean, my question is, is this really going to national TV? Because this proceeding, I believe, is being broadcasted nationally.
Yes, yes.
But it's such a joke to see like a war judge. I mean, first of all, I believe that this is the High Court, right?
Yes.
This is going to High Court. It's not like a Mickey Mouse court, like in the provinces or somewhere there in the area or a location or something. This is a High Court, and the judge of a High Court who presumed to have 50 years of experience. But look at the way he behaves. It's such a shame, because this is the face of the justice system of South Africa. We're looking at it right now.
Yes.
The justice system of the whole South Africa, a country like South Africa, represented by such a judge like Ratha. This is a shame. He presumed to have 50 years of experience, but he behaves in court just like a 2 years or 3 years experience. You can take a 15-year-old child. I promise you, there is kids also are following this court. This proceeding. I promise you, I had a testimony of a 17-year-old child. He can point that the judge is being biased. A 17-year-old child. How much more the face of the entire world looking at this? A judge, first of all, is trying to change the testimony of a you don't want to be called so-called judge, but a so-called an expert about DNA. The DNA expert is right. It just tried to demonstrate according to the way they see it, for them to read a suspect on a DNA swab that they found on a crime scene. Those points, they have to read that DNA sample in all 16 cases, right? For them to confirm that indeed that is the DNA of this kind of suspect that they have right there. But out of all 5 accused, none of that proved that those DNA of these suspects were found on all 16 cases of those numbers that the way they count them. But today, I'm so surprised the judge is trying to reduce it to the point of saying inconclusive, which means that, okay, we cannot really exclude them from there. But the expert is direct. They say, no, they are excluded. So why are we still having this case? Hence, I'm calling into a question the whole South African justice system. This court case was supposed to be struck out of the road long time ago. Supposed to throw it away, because already such a thing like this, not only the DNA, but the guns, the suspect himself, they say the way they try to give testimony. Tanzi they say this guy has a tattoo. They saw no tattoo on Tanzi. They saw no gold piece on Tanzi. So what are they still sitting there for? Hence I said, therefore was right when we say that this case, there are people, they upper high class people that are still standing on this case. That's why this case is still persisting till today. And it's such a shame, really. It is really shameful to see the whole system, the justice system being that. I question even the Minister of Justice, what are they still doing that? Even the Judge President Mulambo, something like that.
Yes.
Why is he still sitting there? Why is he still sitting there looking at this Mickey Mouse court case going through like this? Why are they not doing anything? You mean they're trying to turn a blind eye to everything that is happening in that court? That's really shame. Well, if Judge Ratha find these people guilty, I would definitely gonna give up on South Africa's justice system completely.
Yeah.
And we will be afraid to come to South Africa. Well, I live in South Africa. Last time I say I've lived in South Africa for more than 25 years. I left, but I still have kids there. My whole life is in South Africa. Well, it's gonna be very scary to come back to South Africa and risk to have a court case and being, accused of something that you really didn't do. But other than that, that's all my 5 cents that I wanted to give. And thank you for the great job that you're doing. Emily, I don't know how you do it, but man, you are a bomb. You're such a bomb, because You replicate everything in detail. That's a great job you're doing there. So you guys, thank you very much for everything that you do. I will keep on supporting this group in liking or throwing some money, even a $20, a $50 here and there, as we can, just to encourage you guys of the great job that you're doing. Before I go, I was going to mention about this Khumalo case today. It's very scary. Yeah. It is really very scary. We need to keep that man into prayer because he's doing a great job and he's really risking his life. Already there are already a couple of people that die on that case. So it will be bad to hear such a bad news if anything happened to Khumalo. Yeah. Other than that, shout out to you guys and we'll keep listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Zanzelo?
Mr. Anonymous, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Doing fine, and greetings to Mrs. Emily.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw some comment on this DNA thing. Yeah, according to, as far as I have my little knowledge about DNA, you see there's chromosomes and molecules in that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so when it's been tested in what you call, for instance, if ever there is Emily or you, Mr. Anonymous, you are suspicious of your child from your girlfriend. Some people say that ufana no banban. You start to go to the doctor and do DNA, but the person who's going to be drawn blood is not Emily. It's going to be you as a father who's suspicious to your zygote, which is your son, and then it's going to be blood will be taken on both. And then when that test is being done, there are compulsory compulsory chromosomes or whatever the other I forgot the term that are common, so which are similar. So that's why you see that out of 16 is 7, but that 7 could be 7 or if you minus that 7 from that 16, which is inconclusive to what has been discovered from the house. I'm getting away from the example now. From what is remember, because from the house there is a DNA that has been taken, 2 swabs. Yes. Then now it's being compared to what is from the suspect now. All right. So, but at the end there must be a report. Then, if you check, there is something called mixed DNA. That mixed DNA, it's when there's so many people touches there. For instance, let's say somebody break your car, so many people touches your car and away. Then it will be picked up by what you call by the system, because there's a certain, I'm not sure, como when I Googled it, it's como something like, but it's a liquid that separates those. But if you check of what Mr. was reading, there was nothing that says on that report says that there was a mixture of DNA. Now the state is forcing everything, and the judge is also, as the state, you can see that it's falling, the walls are falling apart after Mngomezulu and Mnisi. Now the judge seemingly that is holding those walls not to fall. And I'm very worried about the behavior of the judge, really, really worried. Nevertheless, getting away from that, I like what Ramusipire did to the judge, because you almost the judge targeting Nisi. Ramusipire, like in terms of when he commenting something about against the defense, always he targeting Ramusipire. Ramusipire, I liked what he did. He just jumped straight and say that when he was saying Ramusipire, and Ramusipire said, no, I have to raise my hand, because you, at the end of the day, I will be asked, why didn't I attend my what you call. Now he's trying to put more pressure on the defense in terms of like they must be seen from Mr. Mlambo that they are dragging the case of all these excuses of what you call, irrespective of I can take any consultation from you, Mr. Anonymous. But if ever I'm stuck somewhere, I have to consult that, because this is critical. This is about someone's life who's going to go into jail. I don't understand. And I like what Ms. Ramusipidi answered. And then he ended up agreeing with Ramusipidi. nevertheless, I'm leaving that. But my actually critical point also is about this Ngomezulu. Ngomezulu is in risk. It's the same as advocate, therefore. But before I touch that, I get to laugh when the judge comment about charging. Now, you guys, both you and both of you, in fact, that you were commenting about that. If something happened to me, I have to lay a charge. What do you say? Lay a charge where? To the police station.
Yes.
So, what is the charge? A charge is if it's a common assault. You even said, Mr. Anonymous, common assault. It's a charge. You can't lay a charge to an NPA. You can't. You can't lay a charge. You go to police station and the police must charge you. And you will say, if the police say that I'm going to charge you, you will ask them on which charge. That's why it says you are being arrested for 48 hours. Then you can't go to court without being charged by the police. There's a formal form, as I'm working for SAPS, that you charge that person and send it to the prosecutor to determine that on the charges that you've put it on that sheet, is there any charge that they can add according to the statement which was taken by the police, not by the NPA or whatever? That judge needs, they don't understand, actually, all of them, how it works. This, unfortunately, if I can clear your mind, guys, you see the reason why Mr. Kefo was highly being pushed away from this case is because he knows better than he knows lot of information of the police. Hence, he has got 19 years experience. So they knew that all these things of an occurrence book, which has got no numbers, he could see that. You can hear that, Mr. Anonymous. You can hear that if, for instance, at work, somebody can write on the OP that Mr. Ngonso said this and that and that and that. And then after that, I don't care. He wants me to be charged. Then I tear that paper and put another entries that way. Aligned with this one that he put it. And then you won't know, because as the day goes on, you write anything. So if Kefo was here, he could have all kicked those things away. So that's why now you find that Ngomezulu has got this issue. And I believe Ngomezulu, because even this guy who was writing the book of the disease, he was also said publicly that he was something that has been done from Ngomezulu. It happened to him also as well. All people that are in this case against the state, against these these accused that the state are saying that are committing this crime, always getting tracked. I'm very worried, guys. But nevertheless, last part, and then leave. I agree with the caller that, or the person who commented that the judge is giving a sign by knocking the table to show the witness to say, who's this Gininda? Because remember, when Lisa was taking going there to the one of the accused, the judge was like, and mentioned the name of Gininda, and whispering. I could hear that, so I'm agreeing with. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, you guys are noticing things. You are sharp.
Morning, guys. Can I remain anonymous? There's just the one point I would like for you guys to comment on. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, because I don't get, how did Longway be specific that the gun that he saw was a .38 special when everything happened so fast? How did he come to that conclusion? Yes, it was a revolver, but how did he come to the conclusion and be specific to a point where he said it was a 38 special? That's all I want to know.
It's a very good question.
And if I can add, remember, guys, everything that happened in the house happened so fast. And then when he says he saw the first intruder, he stood up and posed. When did he get the time to look at the gun and be specific to the point where he came to the conclusion that he said it was a 38 special?
For such reason, that's why I say I don't see him coming. But yeah, Let's wait and see. Senzo Meyiwa was killed on the 26th of October 2014, and all 5 accused were arrested on the 26th of October 2020. That's weird. Instead of mixed DNA means that it had man DNA and woman DNA. It has XX and XY. So they think we have forgotten the mixed DNA comes from where? Yeah. Let's see here. I think Miss K, she's implicated with the reason they just to confuse the judge and viewers. Ingagubi ingati this thing it was planned. That's why Miss Mogola, she's even quiet about it because they were all briefed about it before it even was disclosed in court. That's why Miss K warrant it was not issued. It is a tactic because they know they're not gonna arrest her, even though she is implicated. For example, look at the accused number 4. He is in the dock before the court, but he was implicated by the accused number 2 via confession. That is not implication. That is not implication. Accused number 2 via, okay, that is not implication to the other person. Why is Miss K? She's not even in court, but she is also implicated. And the person is laughing. Everything is alleged. Furthermore, you know why Longwe will testify after the ballistic experts, because they want Mangena to sweep this thing off the revolver so that when Longwe takes a stand, and actually you are raising a good point.
Then they'll come with an amended statement.
Longwe takes the stand and defend, try to cross-examine about the revolver on Longwe. The judge will order that it is useless because the ballistic expert testified that the gun that was used was 9mm, and Khumalo will point out the accused number 3 as the shooter. You see, she was the one who was beaten by the she was the one who was beaten because she was the one who was beaten by him. So she will claim it's difficult. People are calling the one who was beaten by him. So you be one who saw him, or he saw him. They will close the case of the state after Khumalo. Right. Good evening, family. Judge said findings about the confession is not final. He can change his judgment. Now, accused 1 said he lied. Hi. Please assist. How do you do that? Zanzi, hello. William Ryan, how are you? Yes.
Datano masowazo mona bothatha bo kaemo. Wa bona how can ga phone number tsa the Ratha. Wenga phone number tsa the Veiws. Wenga phone number tsa the wa bina wo wa ona Gauteng. Wenga phone number tsa the All Blacks. O apply section 205. O do fumana hore batho bao ba bua all day basis after case ba bua batho ba linka. Yeah, ba bua batho bao. So mo ke same WhatsApp group. So batho bana na ntwe tlamele ba yetse tlamele di lawyer ne, not one, all of them. One day like Monday ba apply section ba go ba kenya special entry. One time or one how kenya muthe one, that one we are Khulzimapur. So tlamele one time ba kenya special entry, judge itswe -1 or what until 29 May. After 29 May, new minister of police ano mamela vingi na go fela. Next ano mamela totally all mapunisa manu che ba trungu. from there at least it have born on our tala no china on justice for Senzo Meyiwa nix at all that don't look out to go to what of sentence after what of sentence ama to sinyana what of sentence I want to tell you now you know what of sentence after for what thank you
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, interpret.
Section 205. He's asking if they were asked to ask for the Section 205s for the judge, the man in all black, the who else? So he's saying that he's alleging that they are communicating after the proceedings. They communicate, and also that the lawyers should produce a Section 2, a special application for the judge to be recused. All of them, not just one, because if they do it as one or an individual, one of them will end up in Koshimampuru, like making and alluding to what is currently happening to Advocate Diff.
Yeah.
As well as they should do it together. They should do it one upon a day, and he's hoping that after the elections, they change the ministers and everything changes and corrupt officers are arrested. But this is South Africa. I don't know. We don't know what that looks like. The last time I saw a high-profile police person getting arrested or even charged and getting a conviction was Jackie Lieb.
Yes. Welcome, Lungelwa Madela, as a member. Welcome.
Welcome. Yes, I was saying that it was Jackie Lieb. I don't know of any other police official in the high ups who, ever since the case of Jackie Lieb, I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's also Mhluli. Is it Mhluli, the one who Judge Ratha presided over his case?
Yeah.
But he was in intelligence, I think. I think he was in intelligence or something like that.
That's true.
Those are the only two people that I know of that were really, really held accountable for their crimes. When it comes to the rest, I don't know. It will all depend on what we wake up to on the 30th of May. On the 30th of May, as the results are announced, what we wake up to depends on that. But if we're still going to have, I don't know.
Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm not going to be taking any calls now. I'm just going to be closing down. Again, welcome, Lungelwa.
Lungelwa, welcome to the membership.
Chuku Anna were on the comments, Spama Sugu, Mtugozi Silanga was on the comments, Tabi Soem Tau was on the comment, Gwelagiti was also on the comments, Sizum Gaka was on the comments, Langs M was on the comments, Sims Kaba was on the comments, Net was on the comments, Dineo. Our member was on the comments. Igoloza SKK was also on the comments. Lufate was on the comments. Paul Manjani was also on the comments. Mamela was also on the comments. Let's see. Okay, that was mentioned. I think Togo Masondo was also in the comments. Mamzita was also in the comment. Gaby, our member, was also in the comments. Idiana Mohapi, our member, also was also in the comment. Martin Gasa was also in the comment. Dumi was also in the comment.
Guys,
I don't know.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to look at the comments. I'm struggling. Let me leave my phone alone.
Yeah, guys, that's it. Gobas, I think, was also on the comment.
All right.
Tapiwa on the comments. Lulama Sbia was also in the comments. Let's see who are missing. Pamasugu mentioned. Let's look down there. People who comment. C and Polka was also in the comment. Polo Bien was also on the comment. Ngibale na Mr. Anonymous. Polobian was on the comments. Says Tembelani Kanye Knights. Novapi also on the comments. Yes. Let's see who is not mentioned but is supposed to be mentioned. Raul was also on the comments. Malachi was also in the comments. Start with Yahau. Yahau was also in the comments. Tabis, okay, Tabis was mentioned. Noma Kule was also in the comments. Let's see. Who am I missing? Spelpel Okuma was also in the comments. Pamanda was in the comments. Thank you very much, guys. It's a bye from me. Who did I miss? Yeah. Sibanda Skatele was also in the comments. Yeah. Sheshe was also in the comments. Pray for Mngomezulu. Yes.
Yeah, let's pray for Mngomezulu and let's.
Novapi, yeah. Novapi was mentioned. Yeah. Bye, guys. And like the video. Share the video. Thank you.